Are you all set to begin?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Did you have any probable cause challenges that I need to know about?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And then, Ms. Fusco, are you all set to begin?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and call the Spanish interpreter, but could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Elaine Fusco, State Attorney's Office.
Pedro Matos, Public Defender.
All right. And I'm Judge Carter.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is the Spanish interpreter.
Hi. Good morning. Have you been sworn?
No, I have not, Your Honor.
Okay.
Do you swear to translate from English to Spanish, Spanish to English, the testimonies you will receive today?
Yes, Laura Royal, State Certified Interpreter.
Thank you. Good morning. Tell me your name,
Connection is
please.
established with the podium.
Oh, great. Thank you very much. Sir, tell me your name, please.
Joyri Janeiro Faguara. Your Honor, can the interpreter verify that this is a Spanish language, please?
Yes, please do so.
Okay, just verify. This is Spanish.
Are we all set?
Yes, we're good.
Okay, thank you. Sir, you were arrested in 20 CF 8985 for false imprisonment, tampering with a witness, and battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Ma'am, good morning.
Good morning.
Ma'am, do you need the services of the interpreter?
No, I'm fine.
No? Okay. Ma'am, I'm going to need you to speak right into the microphone for me. It's a little difficult to hear, okay?
Is it okay if I remove the mask?
Yes. Could you tell me your name, please?
Erica Vasquez?
Ms. Vasquez, do you want to have contact with Mr. Fukara?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
And how long have you been in a relationship with him?
It's been about 6 months.
Okay. Do you currently live together?
Yes.
Do you have any children together?
No.
You do not have any concerns about your safety if I were to allow contact between the two of you?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Fusco, do you have any questions?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Ma'am, I'm sorry, Mr. Matos, did you have any questions?
Ms. Vasquez, I just got one question. If anything like this ever happened again, would you be comfortable calling the police?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, based on the witness testimony and my client wanting to have contact with her, I would ask for no hostile contact order and PTR since he qualifies.
Sir, I am going to order that you are not to have any hostile contact with Ms. Vasquez. Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. I will place you on pretrial release. I also need to inform you that you do have an immigration detainer. Thank you, sir. And Madam Interpreter, that is the only Spanish case we have this morning.
Thank you, Your Honor. The interpreter will disconnect.
Thank you.
No hay problema. Tenga un buen día.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Shaw.
You're Mr. Shaw?
No.
Thank you. Tell me your name again.
Aaron Shaw, ma'am.
Mr. Shaw, this is 20MM 5445. You were arrested for resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. Is there an offer for Mr. Shaw?
Adjudication of guilt, 3 days with credit time served and court costs.
Mr. Shaw, did you want to accept the offer? You'll be released today.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you read the plea form before court this morning?
I didn't get a chance to, but I can I can go over which.
Okay, why don't you take a look at the form?
Oh, yeah, I did read that.
You did read it. Okay, did you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
Your Honor.
Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Your Honor.
Yes?
I looked up Mr. Shaw's history, and we have a competency hearing a month ago, so we have competency concerns for him.
Mr. Shaw, do you still want to enter the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Shaw, do you understand everything that I've explained to you today?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand why you are here?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me what you were arrested for?
Resisted arrest without violence.
Okay. Mr. Shaw, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days time served. You will have to pay court costs. Those are due by July 28th of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Just making sure, man. Let's hit. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, man.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Kenneth Thomas for Mr. St. Felix.
Did you say Mr. Thomas?
Yes, Your Honor, Kenneth Thomas.
Thank you, sir. And your client's name?
His name is Shelton St. Felix. That's spelled S-A-N, excuse me, S-A-I-N-T-F-I-L-U-S. I think it's on page 9.
It's an out-of-county case.
It's not a county case, Your Honor.
Got it. Okay.
I didn't see where it put a bond on there, but we were asking the court to set the bond in the matter. His father is a local minister, pastor in the church. He also works for the Orange County jail system across the street. He has great contact with the community. I'm going to represent him in Osceola County, but like I said, I'm looking through the what paperwork I've seen. I haven't seen where they set a bond for him. I don't know whether the court can contact someone to to set the bond, or the court can set the bond on his own. My understanding is, accusation of firearm, but he didn't shoot anybody, didn't cause any injuries or anything else. The facts of the case we'll have to deal with in Osceola County.
So this is actually an over-the-line arrest, and so pursuant to 901.25, the Orange County judge can set, or is required to set a bond for Mr. St. Felix.
We asked the court just to set the bond at $1,000.
What was your request?
Set it at $1,000. His dad said he can afford to pay the bond on, I guess $100 to pay on that bond. He's not a flight risk. He's been living in Orange County all of his life, pretty much. Got nowhere else to go.
Is this the correct fee sheet for Mr. St. Felix? Yes, ma'am. Okay.
My understanding,
All right, Mr.
I'm not trying to get too deep into the facts, but it's a dispute with a tow truck company.
I've read the affidavit. I am going to order that he is not to return to the scene, which is 4489 West Earlo Bronson Memorial Highway. He's not to have any contact with the victim. Mr. St. Felix, you're not to possess any weapons or firearms. If you do own a gun, you need to surrender any firearms that you do have to the sheriff's department within 6 hours of your release from the jail. And Mr. Thomas, you stated that his family is going to be posting the bond?
His father would post it as soon as.
And you've spoken with him and he's indicated that he can afford a $1,000 bond, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. St. Felix doesn't have any prior criminal history or any failures to appear. I'm gonna set bond at $1,000 at this time with the additional conditions that I previously stated. Anything else, Mr. Thomas?
No, Your Honor, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Rafaela Charles on behalf of the Public Defender's Office. I'm here with Jermaine Brown for a plea.
You said your name's Miss Charles?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And you're here with Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Brown just has the one case, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and that's 20 MM 3994. Mr. Brown, it's my understanding today that you'd like to withdraw your previously entered plea of not guilty and enter a plea of no contest to the offense of trespass in a structure, is that correct? All right, and Ms. Charles, you stipulate to a factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Brown, did you read the plea form, sir, before court this morning?
Yes, ma'am. I understand the plea.
You had a chance to review the form?
Yes, the one I signed it through the mail.
Yes, sir. Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, I understand my rights. I thought, well, yes, I understand my
Are
rights.
you confused, Mr. Brown?
No, ma'am.
Okay, do you have a question?
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I have another case, and it was supposed to be like a concurrent thing because I already pled out to the my other case too. The state already said like they're gonna give me time served for.
Is Mr. Brown here on another case? Has he been sentenced?
No, Your Honor. He's only here today for the misdemeanor case. He does have another open case, which is going to be resolved, just not right now.
Okay, so he has not been sentenced?
Correct.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure there was nothing that we needed to run concurrent to any previously imposed sentences. So, Mr. Brown, it sounds like that case is not going to get taken care of today. You're going to have to speak to your other attorney regarding that case, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You still want to proceed with this plea, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Brown, are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Sir, do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Brown, at this time I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty. Do you have this time served?
No.
Ms. Charles, do you have his credit for time served?
I do not, Your Honor.
Okay.
Wasn't noticed to appear. I think it's just 2 days. Oh, let me see if it come up. Yeah. It is running really, really slow today. Sorry, Jeff. Oh no, he's been here since the 5th. May 3rd.
Eighty-six days. He's
What
been
do you
here
have?
since he's been here since May the 2nd. So 86 days.
86 days?
Yep.
Okay. Mr. Brown, I'm going to sentence you to 86 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 86 days time served. You will have to pay court costs. Those will be due by July 28th of 2021. You have 30 days, sir, to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Anything else, Ms. Charles?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So you need that.
Good morning, your name?
Daniel Antonio Cisneros Pineda.
Good morning, Your Honor. Rafaela Charles on behalf of the Public Defender's Office.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. This is 20MM283. It's my understanding that this is also a plea. The negotiated agreement, sir, is an adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, and court costs. Is that your understanding?
Yes,
All right, and you'd like to enter a plea of no contest at this time?
yes,
And the defense stipulates to a factual basis.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Cisneros, did you read the plea form before court this morning?
yes. I
Do you
read
have-
before I send it to her. Yeah, and I read the one he gave me.
Okay. Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, I don't have no,
Are you on probation?
no,
Do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
yes,
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
no,
Sir, I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to Ms. Charles, if you all set pleas here in the future and their credit time served, will you just make sure that you have the credit for time served amount available for the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and then you'll pass that to your trial partners as well?
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you.
$93 days.
What is it?
93 days.
All right, Mr. Cisneros, I'm going to sentence you to 93 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 93 days time served. You will have to pay court costs, which will be due by July 28th of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing, sir.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes?
Ms. Charles is also representing Ashley Garland, who's
Okay.
not going to be able to make it due to medical.
I see. Is medical going to be a 14-day medical?
Yes,
or-
Your Honor.
I see. All right. Ms. Charles, if you just want to go ahead and you're welcome to reset those when she's clear, either with myself or with Judge McGinnis.
Okay.
Okay, because I don't know when she's going to be available to come to court. So you'll just have to coordinate those and get them reset.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Glenn Brown.
Tell me one more time.
Glenn Brown.
Mr. Brown, this is 20 CF 8961. You were arrested for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with Adrian Houghton. You are to maintain a separate residence. You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms, sir. Your bond is going to be $2,500.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
That's it.
Good morning, your name?
Brendan Devlin.
Mr. Devlin, this is 20 CF 8954. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Amanda?
Are you Miss Majors?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Majors, do you want to have contact with Mr. Devlin?
Yes, please.
Are you afraid of him?
Not at all.
How long have you known him?
I've known him for about a year.
You live together?
We do.
Do you have children together?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Miss Fusco, any questions?
May I make a statement?
I will give you a moment in just a second, ma'am, okay?
Okay.
No further questions, Your Honor. Based on the facts, we'd ask for no contact.
All right. Mr. Matos, did you have any questions for the witness?
Yes, Your Honor. I just want to ask the witness that to restate that she does want contact, if that's true, and if he has ever been arrested for anything, or if there hasn't been any violence in the past between the two of them.
There's never been violence.
Then, Your Honor, since both of them want contact, and I would ask for no hostile contact between the two of them, and that since he doesn't have a criminal history, his only crimes have been driving with a license suspended with prior convictions, I would ask for him to be interviewed for PTR or the lowest bond possible.
Okay. Miss Majors, what did you want to tell me this morning?
I just wanted to state that he did not do what he's being accused of. That my roommate actually agitated him. They were both very drunk, and my roommate was actually the first to pull a knife out. And that's what agitated Brendan to cut his face.
You don't have any concerns about your safety if I were to allow contact between
No,
the two of
ma'am.
you? Mr. Devlin, I'm going to order at this time that you're not to have any hostile contact with Miss Majors. Do you understand what that means?
Yes, ma'am.
You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. You're also not to possess or consume any alcohol or controlled substances without a valid prescription. I will have you interviewed for pretrial release. If you don't qualify, and I don't see anything that would prevent you from qualifying, your bond will be $1,000.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Diego DeVoe.
Mr. DeVoe, this is 20 CF 8986. You were arrested for battery, dating violence, and false imprisonment. This was pursuant to a probable cause warrant. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Your bond on count 1 will be $100. Your bond on count 2 will be $1,500. Do you have any questions about the no contact order, sir?
Yes.
Did you say yes?
I answered his questions, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Chiquita Keaton.
Ms. Keaton, you're here in 20 CF 8987. You were arrested for aggravated stalking. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to return to the scene or have any contact with the victim. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Bond will be $2,500. I am revoking the bond in 20 CF 4690 and 20 MO 660. Just give me 1 second.
It's just 6-6. 20.
I just want to see if these have been filed on.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, the bonds will be revoked in 20 CF 4690 and 20 MO 66. Those will be set at none. Thank you, ma'am.
I thought she gave me a bond. Because I go to court. Can I get the bond on that paper for the? She just did.
Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Yes?
Can you repeat the bond for the new charge?
2,500? 2,500.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Daniel Victor Morales Jr.
Mr. Morales, you're here in 20 CF 8956. You were arrested for aggravated battery on a pregnant person, domestic violence. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Ashley Millette.
Miss Millette, do you want to have contact with Mr. Morales?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Morales, you are not to have any contact with Miss Millette. You are to maintain a separate residence. You may have a one-time return with law enforcement to get your things if needed. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms.
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond, sir, is going to be $2,500. Do you have any questions about the no contact order?
No, ma'am.
All right, Miss Millette, anything else?
I just don't want to make sure there's no contact. He's threatened me before to send people to my house.
Okay.
So that's really my fear.
Okay. So, Miss Millette, what you'll need to do is you will need to contact law enforcement or the police if he contacts you in any way that's a violation of the order. If you have other fears about your safety, you can also go down to the courthouse and you can file for an injunction. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Sir, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
I'm Craig Joseph Bradshaw.
Bradshaw?
Yes, Craig Joseph Bradshaw.
First misdemeanor violence, domestic violence, Your Honor.
Craig Bradshaw.
Did I give it to you on accident? The first one I have is Dupree.
You got affidavit?
Nope, but I can look the case number up. Just 1 second, Mr. Bradshaw.
I have to pay money to go out. So, yeah. You said I'm probably just.
Ma'am, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Renelle Bradshaw.
All right, Miss Bradshaw, do you want to have contact with your husband?
Yes.
Are you in fear of him?
No.
Ma'am, you have 6 children together, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. How old are your kids?
12, 10, 9, 7, 6, and 3.
And they were home during the incident yesterday?
They were home, but they were asleep.
Okay. Do you have any concerns about your safety or your children's safety if I were to allow contact between the two of you?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I just ask that he goes his way and I stay my way, but he helps me with the children.
He what?
He helps me with the children financially.
I see. Do you have any concerns at all about your children's safety if I were to allow contact between him and the children?
No, I don't have no concerns, but they don't want to see him right now.
Okay.
But they asked for him, the baby, but eventually with time they'll want to see him. But for right now, no.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Bradshaw. Ms. Fusco, do you have any questions for the witness?
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite understand her, Your Honor. Were you saying you do or you don't want contact?
We could have contact.
Okay, and so your son attempted to intervene and he was also pushed down?
Yes.
While he was holding the machete?
Yes.
We'd ask for no contact, Your Honor.
Mr. Matos, did you have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Bradshaw, you were pushed down and your son was pushed down, but you do want contact. I just want some clarification. Has anything like this happened in the past before?
We've had arguments, but not really physical like that.
And has Mr. Bradshaw been physical in any other way or verbally abusive?
Verbally, yes.
But you still want contact with your husband?
I mean, at this moment, we could have contact because of the kids, nothing between me and him.
I understand, Ms. Bradshaw. No further questions. Your Honor, at this time, I would ask the court to have phone contact between the victim and her husband, and if there's change, and later on, we'll modify the contact.
So at this time, Mr. Bradshaw, I'm going to order you not to have any contact with your wife that does pertain to the children. You'll have to have that order modified. Your lawyer can file a motion and file that with the court. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. You are also to maintain a separate residence. You may have a one-time return with law enforcement to get your things if needed. I will place you on pretrial release at this time, sir. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, your name?
Good morning. Oh, Jorge Dupre.
Sir, this is 20 MM 186. You were arrested for battery. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Damaris Morales.
Are you Miss Morales?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, I'll just need you to move a little closer to the microphone. Thank you. Do you want to have contact with Mr. Dupree?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
I'm not. He's my son.
Does he live with you, ma'am?
He does.
Okay. Do you want him to continue living there?
Right now, Judge, what I'm asking is for him to agree to take his medication. In 2011, I was giving a paper saying that he was from the Orange County judicial system stating that he's incompetent. So I was assigned to be his guardian and his caretaker.
Okay.
But when he does not take his medication, it's been 6 months, he gets very violent and aggressive. He's been refusing to take medication. He tells me that he does not need it. And for the past 6 months, every day, he's been aggressive to the point where he's been physical with me and his brother. Now, I can't have him home unless he agrees to start taking his medication. When he takes his medication, he's the most adorable person to live with. When he's not, this is what happens. He gets aggressive, and he doesn't take his medication, and he can't get Baker-acted by the police department, by the police, because when they ask him if he will threaten himself or someone else, he says no. And they don't Baker-act him. So they leave, and they leave him at the house, and they tell him take a walk, which he does, but he comes back to start being violent in the house and breaking all my personal belongings just to get ugly. Because I tell him take his medication, he tells me no. He tells me I need medication. So all I want is him to be home with us, but with his medications, he has to agree to take his medication every day. When he doesn't, he becomes explosively violent. And I can't have him at home.
So, Ms. Morales, I can order him to take all of his medication as prescribed, but I can't also make him do that either. Do you understand? I mean, he can agree to do it, but I don't have any way to make him actually do that. So I have concerns about allowing him to come home, given what you just told me about your fears about him not taking the medication and him being aggressive toward you and your son.
Right. When he gets Baker-act, they make him take his medication. If not, they won't release him. But when he's at home, he just, hey, I'm home. I don't need to take it.
Sure.
So I don't need him home if he doesn't go to the hospital and they treat him over there.
Okay.
Then he could come home.
Right. So what I'm going to do today, ma'am, is I am going to order that he is not to have any contact with you, that he is to maintain a separate residence, that he's not to possess any weapons or firearms, that he's to take all prescribed medication as directed by his doctor.
Well, if he doesn't, there's going to be a problem not having contact with me, being that I'm his guardian and he doesn't have anyone to talk to. He's a loner. He doesn't have friends. We don't have family. I just have a mom who's over 70 years old. So, and his father lives out of state.
I understand, Ms. Morales. So that's not a permanent order. That can be later modified. I just don't feel comfortable with the information that I have today without having some things in place for him. Okay. Allowing that to happen today based upon what you told me. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have him screened. Has he ever done the mental health pretrial release program? Do you know about that?
I don't know what that is.
Okay. So that is a program that we have in Orange County. Can you hear me okay?
A little bit, yeah.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a program that we have here in Orange County. It's in partnership between the Orange County Corrections and with Aspire, okay, which I'm sure are you familiar with Aspire?
Yes, I have a second son that suffers from schizophrenia, and we've been there, yes.
Okay. So this is actually a program that they have. He would be assigned a case manager. They would help link him to resources that he needs in the community to be able to maintain his stability in the community when he doesn't have a court case pending. They'll also monitor this court case and help coordinate with the public defender's office and the state attorney's office. It also has a residential component to it. They do have a property over off of Edgewater. It's on Thistledown is the name of the street. And there's a residential component where he could actually live there and get services while he's there and get stable on his medication and maybe eventually return to your house. But that's something that he would need to be screened for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a bond for him today, and then I'm also going to have him screened for that program.
Okay, how can I get some information with the program? Do I reach out to them?
No, they will do it here at the jail.
Oh, okay, that sounds great.
They will do that here at the jail. And then I'm sure they probably will reach out to you, maybe to get some input. That would be by phone if they do that.
Okay.
But that's what I can do to try to help you today. And then, like I said, in terms of the no contact order, your son's lawyer can file a motion to have that modified.
Okay. Well, how long does the no contact order last? Because what if they agree to accept him in the program? Can he contact me or no?
Not until the order's modified.
Can he have at least phone contact?
Are you comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay. I will modify that order to allow him to be able, Mr. Dupree, be able to call your mom on the phone. but you're not to have any contact, physical contact with her until the order's modified.
Okay, also, I just changed my phone number yesterday. He has no idea what my number is.
Okay. Are you comfortable stating that in open court?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Matos, will you write that down for Mr.
Yes, Your Honor.
Dupree? Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
407-692-6597.
All right, so the bond is going to be
Your
set.
Honor, let me just read it back to her just in case. 407-692-6597.
Correct. I also have a second number, just in case, because that's my business number, 407-973-1933.
Okay, so 407-973-1933.
Yes, that's actually his grandmother.
Perfect, I have both of them.
Thank you.
Okay. So bond will be set at 500 or mental health PTR.
Ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
When, if he does get screened and he gets accepted, then later I'll be notified of what's going on?
Yes, you will.
He'll remain here in the meantime?
Unless he posts his bond.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
You're very welcome, ma'am. Mr. Dupree, do you have any questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Good morning, your name?
Bruce William Gant.
Mr. Gant, you're here in 20MM 351. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You're to maintain a separate residence. You may have a one-time return with law enforcement to get your things if needed. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Mr. Gant, do you have any questions about the no contact order?
No, ma'am. One thing I want to know, the house is my house, and I can't go back to my house?
You want me to explain it to him, Your Honor?
I can easily tell him, Mr. Gant, if your wife is there, you are not allowed to be there. If she's not, then you are allowed to be there.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Your bond is $500. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Edward Kish.
Mr. Kish, this is 20MM 5412. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. Your bond is your bond is $500.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I'm not going to take any action. I'm not going to revoke your bond today, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. I have one question.
Yes, sir.
So do I still get to go there the one time and get my property and leave?
If you need to, sir, yes. You can go with the police to get your things one time.
Also, is that like the mailbox thing too? How would I do that?
What do you mean? Do you have like is it like an apartment mailbox or is it
Yes,
a house?
ma'am. It's an apartment mailbox.
So it's not attached to the apartment, right?
No.
Is it more than 500 feet away from your apartment door?
Possibly. Like it's at the beginning of the street. Like it's a house they split into 4 apartments.
I see.
It should be, but I don't have an apartment key as well. That's what I'm asking. I mean, I don't have a mailbox key.
So
My
yeah, I
mom
would
checks
do
the
a-
mail for me.
Yeah, I would do a change of address form with the post office.
Okay.
Okay?
No problem. But when I go get my stuff, I can check the mailbox one last time, correct?
Sure.
I just want to make sure. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Good morning. Your name?
Michael Logan, ma'am.
Mr. Logan, this is 20MM 5441. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You're to maintain a separate residence. You may have a one-time return with law enforcement to get your things if needed. And you're not to possess any weapons or firearms. I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time, sir.
Ma'am, may I ask what that means? Because I've never experienced that. Okay, no problem, sir. What about this one? Do I sign this one? Okay.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Peterson Petit Papa. Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, sir. This is 20MM 5438. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Do you want to have contact
I cannot
with
hear
Mr.
you.
Petty Papa, ma'am?
I cannot hear you.
Ma'am, tell me your name.
Dujni.
What is it?
Dujni Morris.
Miss Maurice, do you want to have contact with Mr. Petty Papa?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
How long have you known him?
For 7 months.
Okay. Miss Fusco, do you have any questions for the witness?
Have you had any violence between you in the past? Ma'am, have you had any violence
No.
between you in the past? And so I think you had some injuries from a few days before the arrest. Was that involving?
Yeah.
It was? So there was a separate incident 3 days before this one?
No, I don't remember. No, I
Nothing
don't.
further, Your Honor.
Mr. Matos, any questions?
Yeah, Miss Morris, the scratches from 3 days ago. Do you guys actually have another altercation before this?
I don't think she can hear.
Can you guys hear me fine, or should I get close to the mic?
I can hear you.
Miss Morris, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I'm just asking if there was another altercation before this. Have you guys ever been physical before?
It happened. Yes.
Any other questions, Mr. Matos?
I just no other questions. I don't see any on my client's face sheet. I don't see any domestic violence priors, no arrest. Your Honor, they both said they want to have contact. I would just ask for no hostile contact between the two of them, and ask for my client to be let out on PTR since he has no other felonies or misdemeanors or any other sort of arrest.
Sir, at this time, I'm going to order you're not to have any contact with Miss Maurice. You are to maintain a separate residence. You may have a one-time return with law enforcement to get your things. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. I will place you on pretrial release at this time, sir. Thank you, Miss Maurice.
Am I gonna have one side?
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Liz Marie Sardi.
Miss Sardi, this is 20MM 5444. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Good morning, sir. Sir?
Hi, hola.
Hi, good morning. Do you speak English?
No.
Okay.
A little bit.
All right, just give me 1 second.
Good morning, this is Dalia Romero, Spanish interpreter on the line.
Hi, good morning, Madam Interpreter. I have a witness that needs your assistance.
Yes, Your Honor, am I interpreting for her in your courtroom?
Yes, it's over the
She's in-
loudspeaker.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you. All right, sir, can you hear the interpreter?
Yeah.
Señor, ¿puede escuchar la intérprete?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, and please tell me your name.
Por favor, dígame su nombre.
Jair Guzmán.
Jair Guzmán.
Mr. Guzman, do you want to have contact with Miss Sardi?
Señor Guzmán, ¿usted quiere tener contacto con la señora Sardi?
Sí.
Yes.
Are you afraid of her?
¿Le teme usted a ella?
Excuse me. No le
¿Le
escuché.
tiene miedo?
No.
Sí,
No,
No.
en absoluto.
No, not at all.
Sir, do you have any concerns about your safety if I were to allow contact between the two of you?
Señor, ¿usted está preocupado por su seguridad si fuera que yo permitiera que ustedes dos tuvieran contacto, el uno con el otro?
No, no estuviera preocupado.
No, I would not be worried.
Have there been any other instances of violence between the two of you during your relationship?
¿Ha habido algún otro incidente de violencia entre ustedes dos durante su relación?
En realidad solo malos entendidos, pero no nada grave, no, como como cualquier relación normal. Somos pareja.
Just misunderstanding, like, but nothing serious, just like any other relationship.
I'm not sure what you mean, sir. Have you had any other physical arguments with Miss Sardi?
No estoy segura si entiendo lo que usted está diciendo, señor. La juez está preguntando si usted ha tenido algún otro encuentro físico entre usted y la señora Sardi.
No, en general no.
No, not in general.
Any
no.
questions, Miss Fusco?
Sir, there's been another arrest with you as the victim, a domestic violence case, correct?
Señor, ha habido otro arresto con usted siendo la víctima en otro caso de violencia doméstica. ¿Acaso eso no es así?
Sí, pero fue un malentendido. Yo expliqué lo que sucedió esa vez y solamente yo llamé a la policía porque quise irme y no quería que suceda nada. Eso fue mis intenciones de llamar a la policía, no para que la detuvieran a ella. Y yo vine a aclarar eso.
Yes, but it was a misunderstanding. As I explained, I called the police because I wanted to leave. That's what happened. I wanted to leave, but I never wanted her to get arrested for that.
Nothing further, Your Honor, but based on the facts in the affidavit and the prior arrest with the same victim, we'd ask for no contact.
Thank you. Mr. Matos, any questions?
Your Honor, I do not have any questions. At this point, my client does not want any contact either way, so a no contact order will be fine.
All right, thank you. So, ma'am, I'm going to order that you're not to have any contact with the victim.
Okay, I won't.
Madam Interpreter, would you mind in telling him that she does not want to have any contact and I've ordered there to be no contact?
Señor, ella no desea tener contacto con usted tampoco, así que por lo tanto, la jueza está emitiendo una orden en la cual ustedes no pueden tener contacto el uno con el otro.
Sí, estoy de acuerdo con eso. Solamente la había visto, nos encontramos este mes de julio, pero yo ya y me iré a practicar. Nosotros hemos sido pareja de baile, entonces estábamos en el mes de julio para practicar juntos, pero ya eso se va a terminar ahora.
Yes, I agree with that. We got together now in July because we're dance partners, but that will end now. We will no longer be practicing together.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir.
Bien,
Thank you, Madam
gracias,
Interpreter.
señor. You're welcome, Your Honor. Is that the only interpreter case you have for now?
Yes, ma'am, that's all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Sardi, again, you're not to have any contact with Mr. Guzman. You are to maintain a separate residence. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time, ma'am. Thank you. Good morning. Your name?
Justin Watson.
Mr. Watson, this is 20MM 5439. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you.
Okay.
You are not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. Your bond is $500, sir. Thank you.
And 500, no. I'll just pay it. I gotta sign this. So I gotta pay the full 500. How can I do that? I feel.
Good morning, your name, sir?
Williams.
Say it again.
Oh, Deshaun Williams.
Mr. Williams, this is 20MM 5443. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You are not to return to the scene. You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms, sir. Bond will be $500.
Your Honor,
Sir?
I don't have any money right now. I'm not working.
So, Mr. Williams, I'm revoking the bond in 20MM102. That bond's going to be set at none. The bond that I previously set in your new case will remain the same. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Ryan Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, you're here in 20 CT 4430. Your arraignment for the offense of attaching a tag not assigned. You are represented by the public defender. How would he like to proceed, Mr. Matos?
Your Honor, did we miss somebody?
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, I thought we missed someone.
Do you have someone else?
Yeah, I had a different name. I don't see him here. Ryan Johnson, arraignments.
He's not on that day. I forgot to
Do we have an offer for Mr. Johnson, Your Honor?
No.
Ms. Fusco, is there an offer for Mr. Johnson?
He has a companion case, 20 CF 8628.
I understand. Okay. Mr. Johnson, It's my understanding that there is a felony case that is related to this case, so I think your attorney would advise you it is not in your best interest to enter a plea to this matter at this time. So would you like to enter a plea of not guilty?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Johnson, I'm going to reassign your case to Division 83. That's Judge Bain, pretrial conference August 3rd at 9 a.m., courtroom 4D, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your Honor, next on the list, Lazada Medical.
All right, that's 20 CT 4427. Mr. Lozota is represented by the public defender. Mr. Matos, do you want to waive the appearance and enter a plea of not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
He has two cases too.
Thank you. And there's 20 CT 4428. Both of those will be a plea of not guilty, and they'll be assigned to Division 81. That's pretrial conference September 2nd at 9 a.m. in courtroom 4C.
Next on the list, Walker, Cabin, refused court.
Does Mr. Walker have any other pending matters? He was here the other day.
We submitted a plea of not guilty for Mr. Walker on the 7th, 21, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm releasing him, well, I can't do that.
He's not
No
here on this
motion.
case.
He's what?
He's not here on this case.
Right, so Mr. Matos, your office is not appointed actually on this matter, and he's not even in jail on this case. It's a notice to appear. So I'm gonna take no action on Mr. Walker's case today.
Understood, Your Honor.
How about Mr. Foster?
Foster, he's medical, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Matos, again, your office represents Mr. Foster. Do you want to enter a plea of not guilty and waive the appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so Mr. Foster is going to be in Division 83, pretrial conference, August 3rd at 9 a.m., courtroom 4D. And then I have one that was reset from yesterday, Mr. Matos. Judge Wish explained it's Mr. Michael Bennett, 20 mm 4596. I guess you were trying to figure out why there had been a written plea of not guilty filed.
Yes, Your Honor. I talked to my superior, and she talked to the attorney. He didn't get back to us today. He just said,
Okay.
I guess he had his own reasons. He's the one in charge of his case.
Okay. All right, no action on that case then.
So I'm just not gonna reset him, I'm just gonna give
No.
him pretrial conference dates. 'Cause he
Oh, it
filed a
was an
notice-
arraignment. Yes, please.
He filed a written
So-
plea of not guilty.
Yeah, so that'll be, what was his last name? Bennett, right? So he's gonna be in 83,
Let me see if it already
unless it was
assigned.
already assigned.
Yeah, he has been.
Okay, 83, okay. How about Mr. Quiles?
Which
It's a
one?
misdemeanor. Quiles, misdemeanor non-pleable.
Can we set him to the side, Your Honor?
Sure. And the next person I have is Joash Errol.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Tell me your name.
My name is Yoash Errol, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You are here in 20 mm 5414. You were arrested for trespassing in a structure or a conveyance. There's probable cause. Is there a offer for Mr. Errol?
Yes, Your Honor, adjudication of guilt, 2 days with credit time served, court costs, no return to scene of the trespass at the Wawa at 901 North Orlando Avenue.
Mr. Errol, did you want to accept the plea?
Yes, I would, Your Honor. I was hoping that I would have been able to resolve this on what was that, Monday. But they explained to me that I would just be stuck an extra couple days. So I'm
Okay,
happy to
sir.
resolve this today, ma'am.
Good. Okay. Did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, Your Honor.
Are you on probation?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
I understand, Your Honor. I'm a citizen.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, Your Honor.
I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in jail with credit for 2 days time served. You are not to return to the Wawa. You will have to pay court costs, which are due by July 28th of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. Thank you, sir. Good morning, Mr. Arce.
Good morning, Judge Carter.
How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I finally landed a job.
You got a job?
Yeah, on the weekends, flying a sign for JCPenney. They're going out of a business. They got 60% off over there by McGuire
They're
Fashion
finally going out of business. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
60%.
Well, I'm glad to see.
Yes, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm glad to see you're well. You look well.
Thank you.
So you were arrested in 20 MM 5416 for trespass on property after warning. You know you can't go to Lake Eola Park.
Yes, I was just drinking water on the sidewalk, the fountain on the sidewalk on Rosalind, and the park range. Yeah, and
Right.
that's what happened.
You shouldn't even be in the vicinity of Lake Eola Park, though.
Wow, I understand now.
Okay. Is there an offer for Mr. Arce?
Yes, Your Honor. Adjudication of guilt, 2 days with credit time served, court costs, no return to the scene of the trespass, Lake Eola Park.
You want to accept the offer?
Yes, I'll leave today.
Yes.
Yes, I'll accept the offer, Your Honor.
Did you read the plea form?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights on the plea form that you're giving up?
Oh, no questions at all.
Are you on probation?
No probation.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, luckily I am a citizen.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in jail with credit for 2 days time served. You'll have to pay court costs, which will be due by July 28th of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, and don't go back to Lake Eola Park.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good morning. Your name?
Yes, my name is John Judkins, ma'am.
Mr. Judkins, sir, you are here in 20 MM 5446. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause. Also 20 MO 783 for open container. Oh, there's probable cause, sir. Is there an offer for Mr. Judkins?
For both cases to run concurrent, adjudication of guilt, 4 days with credit time served, court costs.
Mr. Judkins, did you want to plea to the court?
Yes, ma'am. Guilty.
Okay, sir. Did you read the plea form before you?
No contest, ma'am.
Yes, I understand, sir, but I'm asking you if you read the plea form before you came to court.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
I have not.
All right. I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day in the Orange County Jail. You've got credit for 1 day time served. You will have to pay court costs, which are due by July 28th of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. And I'm not going to revoke your bond.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Demetrius Carey.
Mr. Carey, this is 20MM 5437. You were arrested for criminal mischief. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to return to the scene, have any contact with the victim. Your bond is $1,000, sir. Thank
Okay.
you.
On both, you got 2 cases.
Excuse me?
2 cases?
Yeah, there's 2 cases? I just have one.
No, I have only one as well, Your Honor.
Do you have a case number?
He's already been seen on the other one. He's already been seen on the other one.
Okay.
Your Honor, next on the list, George Nee, behavior.
All right, I'm going to find a waiver of Mr. Nee's appearance based upon his inability to come to court due to his behavior. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent him in 20 MM 5442. He was arrested for trespass on property after warning. He is not to return to the Exxon gas station at 8220 South Orange Blossom Trail. I'm going to release him on his own recognizance at this time. Good morning, are you Miss Paris?
Yes, ma'am.
This is case number 20MM 625. You were arrested for resisting officer without violence. There's probable cause. Is there an offer for Ms. Paris?
Yes, Your Honor, adjudication of guilt, 3 days with credit time served, court costs.
Ms. Paris, do you want to accept the offer?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read the plea form before coming to court this morning?
No, ma'am.
No?
No, ma'am.
All right, you'll need to read the plea form, please, and then let me know if you have any questions.
Yes, ma'am. I can't see it. I can't see it. Thank you.
I just went over the plea form with her, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Paris, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You'll have to pay court costs, which are due by July 28th of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Chris Richards.
Mr. Richard, this is 20 MM 5440. You were arrested for disorderly conduct. There's probable cause. Is there an offer for Mr. Richard?
Yes, based on the threats to kill in the affidavit, adjudication of guilt, 5 days with credit time served, court costs.
Mr. Richard, do you want to plead to the court?
5 days. Yeah, I'll take 5 days. Plead guilty. Yeah, I plead guilty. 5.
Your Honor, the state attorney said that it was credit time served, correct?
No, she said it's 5 days, and I asked if he wanted to plead to the court.
Can I ask if you can lessen the sentence?
What I'm asking you is if you want to plead to the court. Maybe Mr. Matos can explain to you what that means.
I'll take 5 days.
Your Honor, my client is a disorderly conduct. I don't have that. Just give me, can I have 1 second to relook at the affidavit?
Plead guilty to the 5 days.
All right, sir, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights you're giving up?
No, Your Honor.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No.
I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You'll have to pay court costs, which are due by July 28th of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Edward Starcher.
Mr. Sturcher, it looks like the bond's been endorsed, your bond, and you're here this morning for me to set a bond on the case. I'm not sure why they came off, maybe because they upgraded it to a felony. In any event, sir, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time. You're not to return to the scene of the offense. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning. Your name?
Rhonda Vaught.
Ms. Vaught, this is 20 MM 349. You were arrested for trespassing in a structure or a conveyance. There is probable cause. Is there an offer for Ms. Vaught?
Yes, Your Honor, adjudication of guilt, 3 days with credit time served, court costs, no return to the scene of the trespass at the First Baptist Church at 441 South Highland Avenue.
Ms. Vaught, did you want to accept the plea?
Yes, please.
Did you read the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights on the form?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in jail. You've got credit for 2 days' time served. You're not to return to the First Baptist Church. You'll have to pay court costs due by July 28th of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
When will I be
Thank you.
released?
You'll be released today.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You're on the next on the list, Wolf Edward, mental health.
All right. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Wolf. Do you want to waive his appearance, Mr. Matos?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's 20 MM 5424. He was arrested for battery. There's probable cause. He's not to have any contact with the victim or possess any weapons or firearms. Bond is $500.
We have Mr. Quillis, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Quillis, you're here in 20 MM 4490. You failed to appear for court on the 21st of this month. Your bond is $750. Mr. Quillis, did you want to resolve that case today? Did you want to enter a plea?
Your Honor, it says he's on state probation?
Probation.
What?
No probation.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, just seeing it on the paper.
I don't have probation.
It says he does not have probation.
Oh, here we go.
I just
Where,
want
Mr.
to say, Your Honor, I apologize, and there was some type of miscommunication between me and my father because I was looking on the clerk of courts to try to see if I could. Oh, okay. Okay.
He's not on probation.
My friend committed suicide
No.
in my house, and I'm.
No.
Your Honor, that's...
Um,
So, but Mr. Quillis, if you wanted to enter a plea to the case that you failed to appear for in court, you could do that today and resolve it, sir. Did you want to do that?
what?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. 3 days. Is that fine? 2 days. Okay. So, Mr. Quiles, if you entered a plea to that charge today, I would adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. I would order and reserve restitution for 60 days. I don't know if you owe any money to Walmart or not, but the state would have 60 days to provide the court that information. You would also have to pay court costs. Do you want to accept the plea?
Follow my dad. My dad is the one who tells me what it is, and this is
Your Honor, I have competency concerns written on my page based on another case that he has, and they tested him for competency. We would not like to enter a plea at this moment.
All right, bond is $750. Thank you. What about the?
I don't mind.
No, I'm not taking any action on that case. Good morning, your name?
My name is Warren Kajesti. Good morning, ma'am.
Sir, you are here in case number 20MO789. You were arrested for disorderly conduct.
Yes,
There
ma'am.
is probable cause. Is there an offer for Mr. Kajusti?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'll defer to the court. Not finding.
Sir, did you want to enter a plea on your case this morning?
Not guilty.
Okay, sir. Your bond is $250. Thank you.
What about the I don't blind case?
I'm not taking any action on the Osceola case. Thank you. Thank you.
Could you tell me the name of the last person called? I'm sorry.
It's Kajusti. Cajuste.
I'm from New York. What's going on, man?
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Eric
Sir?
Hernandez. Eric Hernandez.
Mr. Hernandez, this is 20MO790. You were arrested for open container. There's probable cause. Is there an offer for Mr. Hernandez?
No, Your Honor.
There's no offer on an open container?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I am having trouble missing some records at this time.
Okay. Mr. Hernandez, did you want to enter a plea to this case?
Yes, yes.
Did you read the plea form before court this morning?
I can't see, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. Mr. Hernandez, do you understand by the entering a plea today, you're giving up your right to contest these charges?
Yes, ma'am.
You're giving up your right to have a trial by a jury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're giving up your right to have the state of Florida prove that you committed this crime?
Yes. What?
Are you on probation?
No, miss. I'm not even from over here, miss. I'm from New York. I don't know what's going on.
So if you don't know what's going on, Mr. Hernandez, I can't take your plea.
Miss. Okay, yeah, I know what's going on.
Mr. Hernandez, are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Is that directed to me or to the attorney?
Yes.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir, I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day in jail with credit for 1 day time served. You'll have to pay court costs, which will be due by July 28th of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing, sir. Thank you.
So I'll go home now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, sorry.
Good morning, your name?
Hey, how you doing?
What's your name, sir?
Anthony Roberts.
Mr. Roberts, you were here in 20 MO 791. You were arrested for disorderly conduct. There is probable cause. Is there an offer for Mr. Roberts?
Yes, Your Honor, adjudication of guilt, 2 days with credit time served.
Mr. Roberts, did you want to enter a plea to this case?
Not guilty.
Okay, sir. Your bond is going to be $500. I'm not taking any action on the out on bond case. Wait a second. I'm revoking the bond in 20 CF 8902. That will be set at none. Thank you, sir. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Avon Carroll.
Mr. Carroll, sir, you are here in case number 20 CF 7968. You were arrested for failing to register, name change of residence. Your bond will be $2,000. This was pursuant to a probable cause warrant. You also have 20 CT 261. You failed to appear for court on a driving while license suspended case.
Changed address and got arrested. My mom had died. I went to visit some relatives within the area. Apparently, somebody came by the house.
Do you have the driving record for Mr. Carroll by any chance?
Can get it for you. Give me a second. I don't, it's not in your packet.
No, that one's not in there. I have.
Yeah, my car broke down.
Walker, Zada.
Hello? Judge?
Sir, just give me 1 minute, okay? I'm trying to look for your driving record.
Yeah, and I want to also share with you too as well about the failure to change the address. I went to the I went to the sheriff department yesterday to change my address and got arrested. I've never failed to change my address. My mom had died, and I went to visit some relatives to mourn. I went down to the sheriff department and got arrested for failure to change my address, but I went to the sheriff department yesterday to show them that I was moving.
Mr. Carroll, listen, I'm going to stop you. I don't have the ability to take care of that case today. That's something you're going to have to talk to your lawyer about.
Yeah, but I got my car broke down on I-95. I'm asking if I can be released on my own recordings.
No, sir, I'm not going to do that today because you have an open case for grand theft in front of me, which I'm not going to revoke the bond on that.
You're not going to revoke the
And
bond?
then I'm not going to revoke the bond on your grand theft case.
So I can bond out.
You're going to be able to bond out.
Okay, so I got it.
Okay.
All right. So could I get I couldn't get RR. Like I've never been RR. I'm not
No,
like a
'cause
flight risk or
no.
anything.
No, Mr. Carroll. You also have a second case today that you failed to appear for court.
Yeah, but I never, in that case, I wasn't driving the car. I got the ticket because it was my mom's car.
Mr. Carroll, I'm not going to hash out the facts of all your cases today with you. I'm trying to do the best that I can here to help you out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
So I have a bond for 2,000, so that'll be 200. And then I have a bond for 100 and that'll, 1,000 and that'll be 100. So $300 will get me out.
Yes.
All right.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. God bless.
So, Mr. Carroll, you have reporting requirements. Mr. Carroll, you have reporting requirements when you're released. So when you leave here, you need to go report.
To the sheriff's department?
That's right.
All right, not a problem.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're on the next on the list, Cockrell Alfred, mental health.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender. Mr. Matos, do you want to waive his appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's 20 CF 8980. He was arrested for possession of ammunition by a convicted felon and attempted burglary of a conveyance. There is probable cause. Bond on count 1 is going to be $1,000. Bond on count 2 is $150. Mr. Cortez?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. You are here in case number 20 CF 8977. You were arrested for grand theft of a motor vehicle. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Your bond is $1,000. I am revoking the bond in 20 CF 1975. That bond will be set at none, and I'm not going to revoke the Osceola County bond. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Are you Mr. LaFay?
Yes, ma'am.
This is 20 CF 8969. You were arrested for grand theft of a motor vehicle, 2 counts of criminal mischief, over $200, under $1,000, and an additional count of criminal mischief. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Your bond on count 2 and both of those counts contained therein will be $100, and then bond on count 3 is $100. You're not to return to the scene or have any contact with the victim, sir. Thank you.
I'll get no paperwork.
Good morning. Your name?
Luke Charles.
Are you Mr. Luck?
Yes, ma'am.
This is 20 CF 8975. Sir, you were arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. I'm releasing you on your own recognizance at this time, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Morris?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Morris, you're here pursuant to a probable cause warrant in 20 CF 2639. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a firearm, criminal mischief, and petty theft. I will appoint the public defender to represent you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond on count 1 is going to be $3,500. Bond on count 2 will be $100. Bond on count 3 is $100. Mr. Morris, I spoke to Judge Cameron yesterday. Do you have a plea agreement set up in your traffic case?
Yes, it's in October.
Okay, so are you working on getting a driver's license? Is that what you're doing?
Yes, ma'am. As soon as I get done with my child support case.
Okay.
I mean, as soon as they get it lowered down, because right now the child support office is closed. I can get my license back. I just got to get it lowered down because when I was working, I was paying $375 a week.
Got it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you did need that extra time to get your license.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, all right, thank you, sir.
All right.
There's no action on that case. Good morning. Are you Miss Reams?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Reams, this is 20 CF 8955. You were arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia.
Yes, ma'am.
There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time.
Thank
you,
you.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Daniel Suri.
Mr. Siri, this is 20 CF 8979. You were arrested for burglary of an occupied dwelling and criminal mischief greater than $1,000. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. You are not to have any contact with the victim or return to the scene. Your bond on count 1 is $5,000. Your bond on count 2 is $150. And I'm revoking the bonds in 20 mm 4136 and 20 mm 3534. Those will be set at none, sir. Thank you.
That's it.
Your Honor, Soto Martinez, medical.
Mr. Matos, I'll appoint your office to represent him. Do you want to waive his appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's 20 CF 8958. He was arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. There is probable cause. Bond will be $5,000. He is not to return to the scene or have any contact with the victims or possess any weapons or firearms. And he does have reporting requirements when released from the jail. He also has 20 mm 5413, trespassing in a structure or a conveyance. The public defender is appointed on that case as well. There is probable cause. He's not to return to the scene. Bond will be $150 or $100. Good morning, sir.
How you doing, ma'am?
Mr. Crespo, you have 6 cases this morning. They're all violations of community control.
Yes, ma'am.
You have 13 CF 8494. Your bond is set at none. 13 CF 9064. Bond is set at none. 13 CF 9134. Bond is set at none. 13 CF 9194. Bond is set at none. 13 CF 9541. Bond is set at none. And 13 CF 11736. Bond is set at none. It is alleged, sir, that you used intoxicants or narcotics to excess, namely cocaine, on July 7th, 2020, as confirmed by the lab, and you did not remain confined to your approved residence as required.
Yes, ma'am.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you in all of the cases, and you will see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days, sir. Thank you.
I can't get a bond now or no?
No, you'll need to have your lawyer file a motion, sir.
All right, thank you.
Good morning, your name?
Devontae Hunter.
Mr. Hunter, you have 19 CF 2155. This is an on-view violation of probation based upon your arrest in 20 CF 8901. There is probable cause for the violation of probation. I'll appoint the public defender. Your bond is set at none. You will see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days, sir. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Tell me your name, please.
Lionel Hurtado Jr.
Yes, sir. You are here in case number 18 CF 6085. It's a violation of probation based upon your arrest in 20 CF 8880. There's probable cause for the violation of probation. Your bond will be set at none. You'll see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Laws is medical, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Matos, do you want to waive his appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'll appoint your office to represent him in 17 CF 13307. It's a violation of probation based upon his new law arrest in 20 MM 5411, loitering or prowling, for which there is probable cause. He's not to return to the scene. Bond will be $500. Bond for the violation of probation will be set at none. Are you Mr. Zhao?
Yes, ma'am.
This is 14 CF 13080. This is a violation of probation based upon your arrest in 20 CF 8976, resisting officer without violence. There's probable cause. Bond is $1,000. And bond on the violation of probation will be set at none. You'll see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days.
I can bond out with my bond.
Good morning.
Morning.
Your name?
Warren Crowder.
Mr. Crowder, you're here for a violation of probation out of Marion County, Florida, for possession of methamphetamine. At this time, sir, your bond is set at none. We will contact Marion County to see if the judge would like to make a modification. In the meantime, the public defender here in Orange County is appointed to represent to coordinate with Marion County as needed.
Your Honor, I
Yes, sir.
was scheduled for heart surgery. I'm supposed to be at Shands Hospital tomorrow afternoon at 3 up in Gainesville. I don't know if they can do a furlough or something and then come back and take care of this after the surgery. It's just a very precarious situation. I have an aneurysm that's formed in the aorta, and it's pretty important. I have all the documentation in my property here on my phone. They sent me the email with the schedule. So I told the probation officer about this, but she had no control. I had no idea this was from Marion County. I thought this was from Orange County because I had transferred from Marion County.
Sure. It'll still, the case would still remain in Marion County,
Okay,
even though
I
you may
didn't
be
know that.
supervised.
Yeah, I didn't know that. It's just at a precarious point because it's an
Sure.
important surgery, and I don't know if there's something that, I mean, I admit I need to take care of this, but I don't want to forego something and me die in my sleep while I'm sitting here waiting, because that's what the doctor said would happen. It's just, it's an aortic aneurysm that's formed. So I had to bring that to your attention.
Does Mr. Crowder have any other charges here?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Crowder, I'm looking at your face sheet, and it looks like this charge that you're on probation for is your only charge on your face sheet. I don't see any previous failures to appear either.
Right.
I'm going to set your bond at $1,000, sir.
Okay, so we're going to do a bond for 1,000 then? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
You need to report to probation within 24 hours of your release from the hospital.
Now, I don't have any family here either. I'll have to contact my sister in Texas, but that's long distance. Is there any way I can get approval to call a 512 area code? Because she would probably post the bond for me.
Mr. Crowder, what I'm going to do is I still have a lot of information about your
I know.
case to be able to make a different decision. So what I'm going to do, your lawyer would have to help you with that, sir, in terms of contacting your sister.
Okay.
But I am going to, when I get back to the office, I'm going to reach out to Marion County
Okay.
and just see if they can, based upon the information that they have on your case, see if they might be comfortable modifying that bond.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good morning. Your name?
Siobhan Harley.
Ms. Harley, you're here for an out-of-county warrant from Polk County. It's a violation of probation. At this time, your bond is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender here in Orange County to assist you in coordinating with Polk County until we hear something back from Polk County about what they'd like to do with your case, ma'am. Thank you. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Orlando Lopez.
Mr. Lopez, you are here for a failing to appear on a driving while license suspended and leaving the scene of an accident. Your bond, sir, is $2,000. I'll appoint the public defender to assist you in the event that you're not able to post your bond, sir. Thank
All right,
you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Your name?
Good morning. Yadilis Morges Fernandez.
Ma'am, you are here for a warrant out of Osceola County related to a violation of probation. Your bond is set at none, ma'am.
Yes,
I will appoint the public defender to represent you so that they can coordinate with Osceola County.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Looks like there's two. They're the same.
No, they're two different numbers.
No, I know, but they're the same charge.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and the bond is the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
Mr. Pritchett? Good morning, Mr. Pritchett. You're here for an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County related to a grand theft. Your bond, sir, is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender here in Orange County to represent you so that they can assist you in coordinating with Seminole County.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're on the Soto Darko Medical.
All right. I'm gonna appoint the public defender, even though it's an Osceola County case. We'll waive his appearance. His bond is set at none. Mr. Matos, he'll be on the list for your office to assist him in coordinating with Osceola County.
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Welch?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Welch, you are here for an out-of-county warrant out of Marion County related to battery. At this time, your bond is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you, to assist in coordinating with Marion County. We'll also reach out to Marion County to see if they'd like to make any modifications to the bond.
Okay,
Once I
thank
hear
you.
back from Marion County, I'll bring you back to court, sir. How about, what about Mr. Cox?
He's medical, Your Honor.
He's medical?
Yeah.
All right, this is 20 MM 4250. This is a defense motion to set bond. It's my understanding that this was set for hearing because the state has an objection. Ms. Fusco, did you want to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor, we're asking the court to deny the motion because there still is one count, and even if it had been filed originally as a misdemeanor with that count, the bond could have been revoked based on the fact that he committed a felony while out on bond. So we would ask the court to deny the motion.
Mr. Matos?
Your Honor, I was not made aware of that we had a bond motion right now, so I don't have an argument at this time.
Well, based upon the facts that are contained within the motion, I'm going to grant Mr. Cox's motion for bond. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000. What about Blackenston?
He's also medical, Your Honor.
Okay. And same for McCullenco? Alexander?
Did not have him on our, was it an arraignment, Your Honor?
No, it's on the add-on docket. It's a status hearing. It's an out-of-county status hearing.
The only status we had was for Blackiston.
Okay. Mr. Matos, both of these folks have been, your office has been appointed to represent. If, I'm going to rely on you to inform them that their bond is to remain at none at this time, and they'll need to coordinate with Seminole County on setting a bond hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Is there anything else? Did we miss any? Oh, we need the 33-day questions. Ms. Fusco, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
20 CF 7885 Howard Jones.
Yes, Your Honor. On July 27th, a no information notice was filed.
That will be granted. 20 CF 7787 Harold Rasbin.
Yes, Your Honor. On July 27th, a notice of non-filing.
That will be granted. And 20 CF 7840 Michael Wilson.
Yes, Your Honor. On July 24th, there was a notice of non-filing.
That will be granted. All right, I think that is everything. Court will be in recess. Thank you, everyone.